Hi, I'm Joe Rice. I just want to tell you a little bit about my story and my story about baseball. It's about a man and a dad and his two little boys. So, my story talks about how I grew closer with my dad through baseball, having a catch in the yard, going to games. Some of my fondest memories as a child were with my dad around baseball, and wanted to give that to my sons, and so was able to do that also through baseball. And today, it's the part of our lives that really brings us the closest, I would say. And baseball's our national pastime for a reason. It's a gentleman's game, the way it was supposed to be played anyway in 1860. And so, by looking at it through that lens, and by teaching my sons the game through that lens, we were really able to put baseball in perspective. It's not the end all be all, of course, but it is something that we enjoy doing together. We can talk about it anytime, and gives us all a common thread. And so, my story is really the story of baseball, and it began in 1860. So 1860 is when baseball first started going. The rules were first written down in 1860, and they started playing a common game around our country. And today we play what is called vintage baseball. And back then baseball was spelled with two words, base and ball. And like Civil War reenactors, there are vintage baseball players. Well, I got involved in that, and my love of history and my love of baseball. And so I was able to teach my sons vintage baseball and have them grow up playing modern day baseball, of course, but also vintage baseball. And the way it was meant to be played, or the way it was designed in 1860. Of course, technology has changed, and equipment has changed, and the game has changed, and society has changed. So baseball has changed right along with it. But the common thread is baseball. And so our family is much like that. My grandfather taught my father. My great-grandfather played with my grandfather. And so baseball's been handed down to my family through the dads over the years, and happy to be a part of that with my own son. So there's my story, the story of baseball and the Rice family in under 3 minutes. So hopefully you enjoyed your story of baseball.